welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Sharon, aka the Melanin Nostalgic Runner, and this is kind of a Seeing Things Different, part of the Seeing Things Differently series. I didn't document my whole entire time being away like I did before. I am going to share pictures and kind of highlights of the vacation and kind of like a story. So I guess this is more of like a story time, but I'm going to put it under the See Things Differently series. And yeah, so let's get into it. So I just got back. This is, I actually have a day off today. I gave myself another day off and like a half a day for the next day so that I have time to get things caught up and whatnot and, you know, get back to normalcy, but ease into it and not feel like, ugh. Because as people who are aware, whenever someone goes on vacation, I mean, whenever you go on vacation, you sometimes need like an extra day from the vacation, because the vacation, I will say this, was a lot. It was a very intentional vacation. I'm glad I took it, and it was very necessary. But yeah, it was very much one of those things where just a lot happened. So I think I did kind of give you a little bit of highlight of what happened the first couple of days. I'm sorry I keep doing all that. Yeah. So highlight though, it was a great vacation. It was worth it. I had a great time. I enjoyed myself. But I was glad to be back home. Because it really wasn't a vacation that was, it was a purposeful vacation, but it wasn't something where I really had much control per se. So I didn't have a rent-a-car. I didn't really do anything on my own so much, except for like when I was at the airport. It was all very much, hold on. Okay, so I had to pause this video because as you can tell, my cats missed me. They really missed me. Particularly this one, she really missed me. Last night, we're gonna fast forward. So last night, she actually slept with me the whole entire night and then woke me up this morning and then slept next to me this morning. So it was like the cutest thing ever. But anyway, that's not why we're here. So, okay, I kind of shared day one. Day two, I actually went back to my one of my parents' hometowns. And it was kind of eye-opening and kind of sad, depressing in a certain extent because it's a dying town. It's a predominantly black town that, for lack of a better term, the state doesn't care about. Like, so, no grocery store. That's been gone for a while, and they're going to close the bank this week. And yeah, once the post office goes, because I feel like that's going to happen at some point, it's not going to be a town, it's going to be a ghost town. So that's kind of what's happening with that. But anyway, one of the things I did do is I got to spend a lot of time with one of my family members, and that was amazing. And I ran while I was down there. I actually went to my dad's old track that he used to run at, and it was so cool, so neat. But it was also sad at the same time, as I mentioned, because this town is literally falling apart. So the track is not a track. It's like a remnants of a track. And so that was kind of like, interesting. But I did at least get to get all my runs in. But it was one of those things where, you know, I will just say this overall with the trip, because I'm not planning on having this video be too long. Overall, the video was very tugging at the emotions. It was a very emotional trip. I will just say that, a very emotional trip and a very much needed trip to get connected with my family a little bit more and also mend some unresolved issues, if you will. And I got that happened. It was hard, but it happened. It did happen. So I'm definitely worth it. Totally worth it. So anyway, but that's kind of what happened there. My aunt who's down there, she she has, because she's kind of like in this town, and one thing that kind of got me a little giddy is she has, they're not her cats, they're just cats that kind of protect the area because she's kind of in the middle of nowhere, and you know, it's the country, so critters and whatnot are everywhere. So the cats handle that though. There's stray cats everywhere, but like she's like the mama of the mamas. And there's like, I believe there's like 7 of them, and they all just kind of just hang on her porch and just hang out. And that's literally what they're, so we're outside talking on the porch, like our whole family, and the cats are also there, just kind of guarding things, guarding their perimeter or whatnot. But like, you don't touch them and stuff because, you know, they're straight up feral stray cats, where they probably have, like, you can tell that they're diseased, and it's kind of sad, but like also too, they're doing what they do best, which is great. Like they're handling like critters, preventing them from going into the house. So as a result, she feeds them too. Like she cares for them as if they're like her outdoor cats, because they kind of are. Like they're kind of, you know, it's a mutual beneficial relationship, if you will. So the cats were just there hanging out with us too. So it was like, but none of them are indoors. I want to make that 1000% clear. None of them are indoor cats. They're what she calls them are swamp cats. Like they live in the trees and stuff. I've never heard of any of this, because when I tell you another thing that was kind of eye-opening about this trip, I am a city girl. Not like the rap group City Girls, because I ain't about that life. But like I am total opposite of country. So some of the things that they were like going into, I was just kind of like, say what now? Like I was confused. I was so confused. But and I did talk to my older brother who's down there too, and that was kind of cool. Don't mind me, my allergies are back to because I was gone from this allergen environment, because but now I'm back, and now they're just acting all the way up, which I guess happens. And my life. So that was what I did like on day 2 of the trip. Technically day 3, but you know, you don't count the first day really. First day is day 0. I apologize. So I'm going to give you a warning just ahead of time. I'm probably going to go on and off this video that I'm making right now because my allergies, like I said, really, really bad right now. Sorry. Yeah, so fair warning, this video might be going in and out, and I might be touching my face a little bit more than usual because my allergies, as I mentioned, are really bad right now, like super bad. But I gotta continue to do things. I want to give you some material, kind of want to let you know how the trip went, and hopefully you get something out of me sharing, right? I try to share things intentionally and try to be positive so that others can get that energy in return. So that's kind of the goal here. But anyway, so after the rest of the day, because mind you, my parents are older now, so it's not like we're gonna be ripping and running like we used to. Like when I was a kid, we went everywhere. Like my dad is that dude. Mom, that way too, but both of them have slowed down since then. And so it's kind of not quite the same thing. So anyway, and also too, from where we were staying at, because we were staying in more of a major city and within Alabama, it was a drive that close. So it wasn't going to be something where we were going to be able to like really do much besides that. Like, and we were there at my aunt's house for quite a few hours. And also my uncle who lives over in the area too, they came over, he came over too, and we just chatted and just, you know, bonded and had a good time. And one thing that's really eye-opening, I think the older you get, you realize this is kind of odd. Like, because I'm still younger, like subjectively speaking, and also my lifestyle speaking, I'll be honest with you, I feel younger now than I did when I was in my 20s. And I feel sharper here than I did in my 20s. But also too, I'm in such a better headspace. Like, I'm more mentally strong, emotionally strong, all those things. Like, all of it is together now, whereas, you know, especially in your early 20s, none of it's together. You think it is, but it ain't. And so one thing that's just kind of eye-opening that I noticed was kind of odd is, man, everyone's aging. It's confusing because for me, I don't feel like I'm aging. But then when you see other people is when you realize, oh, everyone's aging. I don't know if anyone else is like that, but I am totally guilty of that when I'm around other people who I, known all my life. I forget I'm part of that equation of aging because even though there are certain things that's obvious that makes it that, yeah, I'm definitely aging, it's not something where it's a constant reminder. You know what I mean? And also too, I have, like a better term, I have a baby face. Like, I don't look like my age. So it makes it where I'm just kind of like, what is happening? And so that was kind of a reminder a little bit when we were there. But anyway, so then the next day, I ran around the hotel that we were staying at. That was one thing, highlight-wise, I was actually proud about. I got my runs in the whole entire time I was there. I didn't think I was going to do that because I haven't actually been that good about even doing it being here where I live. And I was on it. But I forgot I love running in really hot weather. So I'm going to do it when it's actually hot, which is really nuts. Most people do not like that kind of thing. I do. And the temperature down there was roughly it started off in the morning in the upper 60s, but then it got all the way up to the 90s, and it's humid down there, and moth to flame. I'm going to run in that. I don't know why, but I will. And I think part of it was I was thinking like, okay, this will be great conditioning for when it actually gets hot up here. I'm going to be ready. So anyway, but that was how I started off the next day, which was day 3, I want to say. The day of why we're here. So I wasn't able to spill the tea of why I was down there because I wanted to keep it under wraps just in case my brother-in-law saw this, because I don't know who's watching, okay, on YouTube. I don't know who watches me on YouTube. And I didn't want the cat to get out of the bag. So the reason why we actually went down there is because my sister threw my brother-in-law, so her husband, a surprise 50th birthday party. And it was an all-white party. And I'll put how he looked and all that there. And I'll kind of share a little bit of what happened there, but I'm going to blur about the faces and whatnot because, y'all don't need to know my business like that. But anyway, it was beautiful. It was very well done. It was very well put together. My sister did an awesome job. But anyway, that was the reason why we were down there, though. The reason, and my mom, which was also a big deal because my mom went down there, and my mom ain't been down there since, I almost want to say it's been don't catch me lying, don't catch me slipping. It's been 15 years at least since my mom has been down there. She won't go down there. She doesn't like the drive, and also my mom is scared of flying, so dilemma, right? How else are you going to get down there? But, so, therefore she doesn't. I have been down there since then, clearly, because I fly. And I've actually, fast forward, have made a point where I am going to make it my business to go down there once a year. Because I actually was planning on doing that before the world shut down, because I do want to have a better, tighter relationship with my sister. She's a half-sister, but still, she's the only one that has children. So that's the only one where I have nieces and nephews, and I even am a great aunt, So I really want to partake in that. You know what I mean? So anyway, me getting ahead of myself in the story. So anyway, that was the reason why we were down there, though, is because we were going to this party, and she was putting this on. But so the day of the party, my mom and I, we decided, okay, this will be a good day to see some of her family members, because she has family members down there too, including one of my aunts who I'm named after her. Anyway, so we went down there, and so we went over there to see her during the day, and that was interesting. Like a bird turn, I saw my cousin, my younger cousin, and it was a good time overall for the most part. Kind of got a little cray because one thing about my aunt and my cousin, love them to death. They're extra as hell. And they might be watching this because I told them about this channel. So they may or may not be watching this. But anyway, so we did that during the day. And then after that, then we basically had to get ready after that. Like, we took a little bit of a break. My parents went to get some food, and that was kind of like my only alone time. Before I forget this side note. So I get down there, my parents pick me up from the airport. I forgot to tell this whole entire part, because this will all make sense why things happened. So my parents picked me up from the airport because they drove, right? And I guess the original plan is we were going to stay down in the small town we go to. We're going to stay in the area at my aunt's that we went to the day before. But my mom didn't want to go back down there. And honestly, thank you, Mom. Thank you, Mom. Because I love her, but I did not want to. I mean, I gave you I painted a picture of what kind of environment it was. Critters everywhere. Yeah, it's very country living, and I'm not a country girl. I rather pay for comfort. I'm a comfort girl when it comes to like my accommodations and staying and be able to sleep, because I do need to be able to sleep during my vacation. But anyway, so we did that. We had the accommodations and all that set up, and the reason why I'm sharing this is it's not like we got 2 hotels rooms. We have 1. So it's me and my parents in 1 hotel room for 4 nights. 4 nights of that. When I tell you I haven't been in that close proximity to my parents for a long period of time, and they're the same way, none of us have been in close proximity of each other for that amount of time, probably since I was a child. That's why I said it was a lot. This trip was a lot. And a lot of things got ironed out, including elephants that were in the room. They're no longer in the room anymore. The elephants have left the room finally because we're in such close proximity to each other, things got addressed. Good thing though. Good thing overall. So no complaints there. But now you understand why, because we were in close proximities of each other for that long, and we were high-key driving each other nuts. Especially in my case, they're used to at least being with each other a lot. But like, I live alone, other than my cats. And, I have people around if I really need it. But anyway, I don't have a lot of people in my space. Like, I really control who's in my personal space on a very regular basis. And so the fact that I had no control of that, I was not the nicest person. And also too, Mother Nature was Mother Naturing. So when it comes to the moodiness of it all, I was moody. And one thing that I was a little concerned about leading up to the trip, but turned out to work out just fine. I was worried that the day of the party that we were going to, I was still going to be, time of the month thing. And my dress that I had for this event was not going to fit properly. It did for the most part. I mean, honestly, I would have loved it to be a little bit smaller here, but whatever, I still looked good. I still looked like a snack. It was fine. But anyway, so brings you to the event. So we end up going to this event. I'm helping my parents out with their outfits because my dad was like, this or that, because my dad, he's one of those, he's like, he likes to look good. And my mom, she kind of didn't care as much, but she was also asking, like, should I wear your makeup? I was like, no, if that's not you, don't do that. Like, I'm a makeup girl. Like, I don't know, I'll be honest, when it comes to like my parents, I'm not sure where I got this whole thing with me being obsessed with wearing makeup. I'm not sure how I got so obsessed with like even my looks. Like, I care more about my looks than my mom and dad combined. I don't know where the vanity side of me comes from. I haven't figured that out. My aunt that I'm named after is like that. So maybe that's who I get it from. I have no idea. But anyway, so we get ready for this party. After we have a little bit of alone time. My dad had alone time during most of the day that day because my mom and I were the only ones who went to see my aunt and cousins. And then when they went to get food, was my alone time. And whenever I go and run, that's my alone time. But I only had like 2 days of that because the first day I went running, my mom went with me. So because we were in that small town, and I kind of honestly was like, yeah, can you come with? I actually wanted her to come with me because I just wasn't so sure. Like, I wasn't as comfortable with the surroundings of it all. So I was like, yeah. So my mom walked around the track while I ran. So that's kind of what happened there the day that day. But anyway, so we get there to the party, and it's beautiful. And it's beautiful. It's together. I was like, this is in Alabama? And I mean, my sister, she did that. One thing that my sister does, she does things well. She just does. She does. I don't know if it's that Leo energy with her or not. Probably. It's probably the Leo energy. I don't know. But anyway, so we're at the party. Everyone's looking good. Everyone's in all white. My parents at first were so annoyed by the concept that it was an all-white party. To the point where they didn't even know what an all-white party even is. I explained to them what that was. And my mom was so overly taking it literal. I was like, Mom, your shoes don't have to be all white. Just your outfit needs to be all white. My purse, your purse doesn't need to be all white. But my mom took it literally. She was white head to toe. Like, that was what my mom did. And my mom's like, did you do your hair for it to be all white? Like, was this part of that too? I was like, yes and no. I was like, I honestly just went blonde again because the last time I did the all blonde, it looked good. And everyone was like giving me compliments. I was like, let me do the all blonde again. And honestly, I'm glad I did because that did look good on my dress. The dress I had on, which I'll post here. I was looking cute. I was looking like a snack. I was like, okay, I did that. I even had the snuffleupagus going on. And then my dad looked amazing too. And everyone looked amazing. Even like all the other family members, like my brother-in-law's family members looked good. They had he had his teacher there who actually used to be my dad's teacher too, because they're from the same town or whatever. And so that was cool. I was like, oh my gosh. And then because my sister has so many connections within her family, because also her family And I'm just gonna keep going. That's not related to me because again, she's a half sister. She's my half sister. She has connections down there. So she had a reverend do what they need to do. That's like her uncle. She also had her cousin, one of her cousins, sang, and I don't mean sing, sang, to get things going. Cause then also too, there was a slightly open bar. No one went crazy because it's the South, and most of the people there we're Christian over here. Like it was like that. So there was no wilding out, and so which was good because it prevented me I didn't want to do that because I want to be disrespectful in front of the Lord or Lord's people. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna keep it cute. I'm gonna have a drink and that's it. And that's pretty much all I did. And plus, I'm not gonna act a fool around my family now. That's one thing we're not gonna do. Because I mean my family, my nieces and nephews are down there too, and my great niece. So I was like, no, I'm not gonna look like the crazy one who's just like being all sauced up. So that was not gonna happen. But anyway. So my other cousin, besides one cousin who was singing and then the reverend, she had made the cake and these cupcakes. And there's this cupcake, and I'm gonna reach out to my sister to get the information because she's gonna need to ship it over here. I had this cupcake. It was so good. It was banana pudding. It was a banana pudding cupcake. So I had the wafer on top, and then the banana pudding was in the middle, and it literally tastes like banana pudding. And for those who don't know, because I'm not a sweet tooth girl in general, but one of my favorite desserts is not a cookie of some sort, is banana pudding. I love me a good banana pudding. I'm obsessed. I love it. And it was chef's kiss. It was chef's kiss. And my brother-in-law, he literally is just taking pictures this whole entire time. And we skipped ahead. So we're waiting. We were there for like an hour before they showed up. Because again, this is a surprise, right? So he wasn't already gonna be there. And so we're there just, listening to music. She has a DJ. The people were there to serve the food and prep the food. They're all there jamming, just waiting for things to happen. There's photographers everywhere. There's like a photo booth on one end where you could like do your Instagram thing. And there's like another one where you could just take the picture yourself and whatnot. They're both there. And we're just waiting. And there's streamer thing where you could do that there. There's plenty of places where you can take pictures and look cute and look grown and sexy. It's one of those. And so we're just waiting. And then finally, because my nieces and nephews showed up first, because they had to help finish setting up basically. And then my sister's the one who brought him there. But they showed up first. And not to put my business too much out there, some of my nieces and nephews are grown. They're adults. So that's how that happens. And there's an age gap between my sister and I, if that gives you any hints. So anyway, so they're there and they're helping set up and all that. So all my nieces and nephews are there and they all sat with us, because, of course, right? So they sat with us and we're just hanging out, having a good time and just waiting. And then when I tell you, it was like, it was like we knew that was happening because my niece, she was like the one who was kind of the lookout person to kind of let the DJ know, hey, they're coming, to turn the music off and whatnot, because the music was going on all the way until then. So they turned off the music, and I don't even know. I need to ask my sister, what did she tell him? Because I'm trying to figure out how, at this point, with him being in the venue, what was he thinking was happening there? That part I haven't figured out. But he really was surprised. He was shocked. Like, he started crying. It was the cutest thing ever when he showed up. He's like, oh my God! Because everyone was there. Like, and also, too, I mean, I don't see my family as often as I would like. So he was shocked to see me. He was really shocked to see my mom. And like, you know, just people from everywhere were there. He was like, oh my, he started crying. He was so emotional. And my sister got him good. It was a surprise. He was not expecting it. It was like awesome. It was so good. It was so good, so good, so good. And then I gave my sister such a huge hug because I missed her. I was like, oh my gosh, miss you. I miss you, sis. Because we're like, hey sis, hey sis. So it was cool. It was such a good time. And so then basically we're dancing, having a good time, vibing. And my brother-in-law's literally having to take pictures almost the whole entire night. Like he was on his feet the whole entire night. And then it was time to have some food. The food was great. I did cheat pretty much the whole entire vacation. I had to cheat. There was like no choice. Either that or I wasn't going to eat. For those who are new to the channel, I am pescatarian. So I don't normally eat a lot of meat. And I'm in Alabama. Exactly. So it was either I'm going to cheat or I'm not going to eat. And the not eating thing is not going to happen now over here. And also too, since I'm in the South, if I'm going to have the crappy food, like the fried chicken and all that, I'd much rather have Southern fried chicken than just have some basic fried chicken. It's going to taste good down there. I'm just saying. So even though I was cheating, I was not that upset about the cheat. Let's just put it that way. And also because I was running every day and I'm running in really, really hot weather, I did not feel guilty about it whatsoever. And also the vacation I went on before, I didn't cheat at all. So I was like, you know what? This is making up for the other vacation I took earlier this year that I didn't cheat. So it's fine. And so it was fine. It was a good time. It was a good night. It was a good night. And the next day was like one of the last days of being there, basically. And so we went and saw my sister again. And that's when things that's when the elephants in the room, that's when they left. I'm not going to go into detail what happened there. Long story less long, things that were lingering, have been lingering for years, have been uncovered and resolved. That's all I'm going to say there, and I'm very happy about it. And also, too, I did surprise my parents and gave them a Mother's Day / birthday gifts because they're okay. Other thing, without going into too much into it, all of our birthdays, like my parents and all of us, our birthdays are all around the same time. So it is, which is nice. It's perfect for gift giving because it's just like, all your gifts and we're done. It's like we're done for the year until Christmas. That's how it works. All the gifts, done. And so that's what happens. We're all spring kids, all of us. But anyway, so I did like the whole combined, here you go. And so they were happy with that. And they got it when I got back because I had it delivered to their place. So once they got home, it was there. Like, oh, cool. So anyway, went, saw and hung out with my sister, went to her place. Because now I actually can go to their place. Because also too, I will share this. If it wasn't for the fact that we were surprising my brother-in-law, we probably would have not had to gotten that hotel. We would have probably just stayed with my sister. And also too, spoiler alert, I'm going to be staying with my sister every time I go down there moving forward. Or maybe even my aunt. But like, it's definitely going to be my sister. If I have the option, she's around. Because when I tell you her house is immaculate, and I don't know why I was surprised, because she's a real estate agent. duh. You know, it's one of those. It's like, of course her house is going to be immaculate. She's a real estate agent. It's going to be great. So we're in the house. It looks beautiful. It looks amazing. It looks awesome. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And then because my brother-in-law, he is just freaking master of all trades, apparently. Didn't know this about him. I learned the other day. All the additions have been added to the house so far. Like, there's been an addition to like the basement, because the basement. Wow! I was impressed. I was so impressed. I was like, oh my gosh, that's so awesome. So anyway, I'm flabbergasted. And then, long story less long, I was very impressed by their home. I was like, wow, you did that. And but and I understood, like, okay, this is why she lives in the South. She's always been a Southern girl, though. She's never been a Northerner. Like, I'm the Northerner of the siblings. Like, me and my other sibling it's like split. 2 of us are Northerners and 2 of us are Southerners, and it's boy girl in both scenarios. I don't get it, but anyway, I'm a Northerner and a city girl Northerner, so like opposite of everyone else for the most part, minus my other brother. And so yeah, so it was interesting. It was like, okay, this is cool. This is nice. So that was a great final day, and then the day after that was I went home, and my parents, I wanted them to get home before dark. But my flight wasn't until like 6 something, because originally the plan was they were going to leave Sunday and I was just going to stay an extra day and get a rent-a-car. But because that didn't happen that way, they just took me to the airport, which was fine. So they took me to the airport, and I basically spent the whole entire day at the airport. The other day. That's pretty much all I did. I was like, okay, I'm just going to be at the airport forever, I guess. And then at the airport. And then once I got my bags checked and everything after being in the airport for some time, because depending on the airline, I'm not sure if it's like this for all airlines, but the airline I flew out of or used, I couldn't check my bags until like 4 hours before the flight. So I basically had to wait until then to like actually, get rid of my bags and whatnot. So, or check my bags. And so I did that and went through and all that just fine, because I have clear, so I just went right through, and which is really nice. I love that I have that. Anyway, so I did that, and from there I basically waited until my flight, like had some drinks, relaxed. Got to decompress quite a bit, because like I said, this trip was a lot of time with family, a lot of talking about a lot of serious conversations, but all worth it and all needed and pretty much all pretty necessary. And I will say this, I feel like I'm going to be able to move forward a lot more when it comes to my life now, because a lot of things that have been lingering, I personally feel like I'm able to let go, if that makes sense. So overall it was fulfilling, even though, I did a lot of crying. There's a lot of crying this trip, but it's fine. Anyway, so I'm at the airport lounge, having my beverages, and I meet this gentleman. He was cute. We talked for a little bit, and it was, I don't know. I'm not going to put it out there. But all I know, the energy exchange was like great. It was cool. I did get his number. He got mine. But we're just going to keep it cute. But besides that, I met a whole bunch of other people while I was like waiting, and that was cool. I think I met the Stigma guy, because I was talking to a guy, I was like, and then I saw the ring, I was like, oh, he's a fraternity guy. I'm like, are you Sigma? I was just kind of like, anyway, so I was like, it was funny just because the fraternity I think he's part of, it's the same fraternity I deal with in the city for like some of the events I do. So it was kind of like I'm a part of. So I was like, interesting. Anyway, so it was just, it was a good trip. That's all I'm gonna say. And so I didn't get home though until like really late yesterday. I didn't get home until like 10:30. And when I tell you your girl was exhausted, your girl was exhausted. And because of my type A behind does not know how to just relax when you get home, I cleaned my whole entire apartment before I went to bed. Yeah. And I started my laundry because I was like, oh, I need to have running shorts for tomorrow. So I had, so all my running stuff was ready to go. And because I'm weird, I got my running stuff ready to go. Yeah. So I got most of like the housework I was going to do today done, which was kind of cool and it didn't suck. I'm glad I did that and got it out of the way. So it makes it where I don't have to do that later. But yeah. But anyway, overall, the vacation was good. I would rate it, because you know me, I like my rating systems. I would rate it an 8. It was a solid 8. It was actually way better than the Vegas to Sedona trip. I emotionally got way more out of it because it was a trip that was necessary. And also too, I've gotten close. It was just about family connection. And you know, especially with the world changing, that put a lot of that kind of thing on pause, at least for me anyway, because I took that stuff so seriously when it came to like the whole world ending of it all. I didn't want to get anyone sick. I really truly isolated myself, like almost to a detriment to a certain degree. I'm sure others did that too. And so to get back out there was wonderful. And pretty much concludes though the rest of the video when it comes to how my trip went. It was overall wonderful. I'm glad I did it. I'm glad that my sister decided to put on this surprise party so I had an excuse to go down, because I don't know if I would have just went down without that, to be honest. And that sounds horrible, but that's a fact. I'm not really lying. I mean, I'm not going to hold you. I'm not someone who just loves going to Alabama like that. I mean, selfishly, I want to go places I ain't never been before. So it makes it where like it's hard to do the family thing and go places you've never been before at the same time, especially on the pockets. So, but if it wasn't for that event, we wouldn't have had the opportunity to do that. And also too, hopefully she sees this, maybe she doesn't, but it was worth it on so many levels. And I'm so blessed about it. I'm so blessed. And I really am appreciative of the trip. So scratch the 8, 9. This trip was a 9. It was a solid 9. Solid 9. It was better than that because what it did for me and really my family as a whole, everything. Chef's kiss. Chef's kiss. So I appreciate the trip. But anyway, if you get anything out of the video, and I mean, I know I was a little vague when it comes to certain things, but for those who have similar situations, maybe you understand why I was, but and hopefully it helps you out, and hopefully it helps you resolve things that you didn't think were ever going to get resolved. Or maybe you didn't realize it was an issue and then you found out it was, and then you resolved it and you're like, oh, okay, this makes things so much easier. That's, in my case, is kind of what happened. I'm not going to go into detail of what all of it was, but hopefully you get something out of this video, and hopefully you get positivity out of this video at the very minimum. And one more thing. Hey, so that actually does conclude the video. When I was editing this video, I decided I'm going to make it another make the ending for this video that I had originally for it in a separate video, because I kind of went off subject a little bit and I chopped and screwed it so that that wouldn't be as much of an issue. But anyway, so I kind of wanted to give this video though a solid ending. So if you get anything out of the content, please like, comment, subscribe to the channel. And it's your girl Sharon, aka the Melanin Nostalgic Runner. And also don't mind my eyes, they're kind of like red right now because yeah, I am winding down and about to get ready to go to sleep. And also my allergies are still, well, doing what they do best, allergying. Anyway, please like, comment, subscribe to the channel if you get anything out of the content. It's your girl Sharon, aka the Melanin Nostalgic Runner, and I will see you next time. Bye.
Throw rocks across the